Hey folks, my name is Jesse with iHeart Board Games. Are you a board game artist? Should you be worried? Is AI coming for you? Right now there's a thing taking over the internet called Dall-e 2. This is an AI that creates whatever you want. You can say oil paintings, photorealistic things from The Simpsons. But is it a useful thing for board gamers? Is it a useful thing for board game publishers? How do you feel if you start seeing this art popping up in your board games? Just for a little fun, let's see if we can recreate some board game art. Okay, so first up, let's start with something easy. 5 kinds of beautiful Portuguese tiles randomly placed in a 5x5 pattern. And generating. I'm just starting with something simple. If you have any ideas, post them in the comments below. But this one's for Azul. Let's see what it comes up with. Alright, so this one seems to be the closest it got to it. You know what? Let's take this image. Let's cut it out and see if we can recreate the Azul cover. So you could already see the actual cover is really bright. Nothing like what we just pulled up here. But I'm new to Dall-e, so I'm sure there's some commands we can do to get it closer to looking like this. Alright, so that's a really quick version of it. For AI, I mean, it looks realistic, but that's not really what the board game covers look like. We want to see like digital paints or something like that. So I think we're safe so far. If this is any indication of what Dall-e can do, I'm not really worried about this taking over any board gamers' jobs. Alright, I think we could do something a little more simplistic now. Let's try Wingspan. So let's say a scissor-tail flycatcher bird flying to the right, positioned in the center of the frame, with wings outstretched in a dramatic X shape, with its white and salmon pink plumage in front of a blue background, highly detailed painting, 8K entirely in frame, with extra room on all sides. And generating. Okay. So, I mean, it didn't give me the extra room on all sides, cut off its wing, and it's flying the wrong direction, but I think we can work with this. Alright, there we go. Dollar Tree Wingspan. So what I see here is like a good way to do concept art maybe. Something the publisher could probably do on their own. It's still not a replacement for an actual artist. But I wonder if certain publishers might try to cheap out and try to replace their artists with this AI, thinking it's good enough. All right, let's try another one that I don't think will work very well. All right, this one's going to be Julius Caesar, Napoleon Bonaparte, William Shakespeare, and Albert Einstein stand calmly as a group in the center of the frame, all looking directly into the lens, while the passage of history occurs behind them with armies marching, pyramids, the Eiffel Tower, and the siege of an ancient city. Aerial view, high detailed painting, 8K. Generating. Any guesses as to what this is? Oh! I mean, Julius Caesar? I mean, I guess someone got made into a statue. The eyes are all messed up, which is to be expected with Dall-e. It's not perfect on the eyes. I see the Eiffel Tower. I see a landscape that could be the passage of history. I don't really see the pyramids. I mean, but they're all standing calmly as a group, center frame, looking at the lens. I feel like it should be wider, because we know Through the Ages has a much wider box. I mean, it doesn't quite work. I don't even think I need to take this to the box. I mean, this one's just kind of nightmare fuel. Okay, how about this? 18mm wide shot painting of a forest village in front of a small waterfall with a badger and mouse on a bridge and a mouse and a squirrel on a distant path that are all similar size, but dressed in village clothing while large butterflies fly overhead with a yellow peaceful sky, highly detailed painting. Generating. Alright, if the box art of Everdell actually comes out of this, I will be genuinely surprised. And if it doesn't, then no surprise. Okay. That is not Everdell. Oh man. And so this reminds me of like, there was an era where like board game covers didn't look good. And this is bringing it back. Like if this came out today and this was like Everdell in like Comic Sans font at the top. I mean, would that be a game you would buy? Maybe. I mean, if the reviews are good and you saw that cover, maybe. All right, this one's not as bad, but also not great. We just don't have the details here. And once again, I mean, user error on my part, but it's a little bit amazing that anything's coming out of this from all these details that we're spitting out at it. We're seeing certain things. We're seeing the badger. We're seeing a bridge. We're seeing some water, not a waterfall, but I mean, we're seeing parts of a village. We're not too far from just trying again and again until we get exactly what we want. All right, I think we're going to have some success with this one. A charging armored Viking holding an axe and shield runs directly at the camera from 30 feet away, while lightning and lava explodes behind him. Epic shot. And generating. So this is, of course, from Blood Rage. I feel like we have less details here, but I'm very curious if it's enough. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, what else is there on that cover? Oh, okay. That's pretty close. I mean, there's a lot more water. Why is there water? Lightning and lava explodes behind him. It looks like the ocean's rising behind him, but still, I mean, centered, Viking, charging, 30 feet away. I feel like distance makes a difference, especially when you're working with one subject. Okay, here's another variation of that same cover. The water's gone, but now it looks like he's just kind of standing there. Okay, this is similar to the first one. This one feels like there's more fire, kind of like the Blood Rage cover. But his legs look kind of like he's floating forward. And that axe kind of falling down just doesn't feel strong. I really like the first one. So let me see what I can do with this one to try to get it more like the Blood Rage cover. All right, I mean, if you had the idea that you wanted a Viking on the cover of your game running at the camera like that, you pass this off to an artist and they could do something with that. I mean, by itself, it doesn't work. There's no details here. But if you just pass it off to them and tell them, hey, forget the water that's shown here, but I want like lava and fire and red coming through. I think this is a good concept tool, and I'm still not seeing a substitute for real board game art. But between Wingspan and Blood Rage, those are the two closest to the covers we've come so far. So let's try something else. Ryan Locket is a very popular board game publisher, board game artist with a very unique style. Let's see if we can duplicate one of Ryan Lockett's covers. Okay, so for this one, I'm thinking Sleeping Gods. It has a little red boat, so let's say a long red steel boat travels over the calm ocean, tubular islands in the background, dark clouds overhead, while under the water, a large monster reaches out at the ship, 200 feet away, very detailed. And generating. Huh. It's not quite a Ryan Locket art piece, but there's some charm. Okay, where's my islands? Okay, there's some dark clouds. Your job is safe, Ryan Locket. Okay, here's an alternative. Those clouds actually look kind of Ryan Locket-y, but there's no islands. But the framing is correct. If we just add the monster underneath, this is closer to the board game art that we can work with, at least for a concept. All right, let's see what Dall-e can do with Cascadia. Beautiful lake surrounded by high mountains in Cascadia with a single deer on the right of the frame. Extremely detailed acrylic painting, AK. Generating. That's a nice painting. I don't like the bit of lack of details. I'm wondering how we could get more details out of this. I've tried other things like digital art and stuff like that, and sometimes it just doesn't give me the sharpest image. Okay, so this one I tried Beth Sobel art just to see what it would do, and the art style changed a little bit, but I don't think this is Beth Sobel style. But we're still in the ballpark of the actual board game art, but it doesn't hold a candle to the actual board game art they used. So I gotta say, board game artists, your jobs are safe, at least for now. Dall-e 2 seems to be giving us good concepts, but not really delivering a full final product. Will Dall-e 3 do a better job? Or Dall-e 4 even? I'm gonna say no, but this whole thing is very impressive nonetheless. Let me know what you think of Dall-e 2, and in fact, before we go, let's see if we can try to predict the board games of tomorrow using Dall-e 2. Let's see if we can come up with a game that doesn't exist, but will exist someday. We had Terraforming Mars, we had Venus next. How about Terraforming Saturn? 2 astronauts plant a tree with the rings of Saturn in the background from 60 feet away. Digital art. And generate? What happened to Saturn? Okay, we got the rings, but I guess they're on the planet. No, they gotta be on a moon here. Once again, they're on a moon. And more rings in the moon. I guess, I mean, it's just the rings happening overhead. And it looks like the rings have transferred on the ground as well. Look at those feet. Okay, we also generated this one, which is still more rings. I mean, this one's the most board game artsy like. The tree is centered. The astronauts kind of look painted. The rings still don't make sense. But I think this one has the best shot of being our board game cover for Terraforming Saturn. Let's see what we can do. All right, done. Oh wait, no, I'm not. All right, we'll call that there for Terraforming Saturn. They can add all the logos and the designers later, but there you go. Concept art, at least for board games, Dall-e can do it. Final art, don't do it. Publishers, don't even think about it. I know it's tempting. It's like, whoa, free art. All this AI is just going to give me free art because art is expensive. But I'm telling you now, it's no substitute for what a board game artist can do. If there's some prompts you want me to run through Dall-e, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you see Dall-e 2 being an issue in the future for board gaming. But that's all the time I have right now. My name is Jesse with iHeart Board Games. Thanks for watching, and until next time, the box is closed.